Come on along.
That's a dead fly. I just killed it. Spring is coming. They're all over the place. Hey guys, it's been a long time. How are you doing? I'm going to do a little video today. Why? Because I haven't done a good one in a long time, and it's time to do a good one, a better one, something like that. What I'm doing, I'll give you the explanation here, is what I'm doing is I've got silica bronze filler rod. I've got my Lincoln TIG 200, I think that is, that I bought not too long ago, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm in my woodworking shop, so I'm not in the shop, which is across the, pardon the way. And my buddy called me, and I did this job a couple of months ago for him, and he's got a nice job in his sheen shop that he's doing. I think I don't know exactly, but I think they're chrome shafts. So what he needs is soft jaws. And we were talking one day, and he says, "Yeah," he says, "what the hell am I gonna do?" They were gonna dovetail something or machine something onto the jaws, but I says, "Well, let's use silica bronze and overlay, and then he can cut them down to what he needs, and then he can keep cutting for fresh material." So what I'm doing is overlaying silica bronze onto this sacrificial jaw, if you will, which is in my little $5 vise from rummage sale or whatever. And I've always been taught to keep myself, give yourself a good steady spot. So I got a piece of cherry out of the woods pile, clamped to the vise, and then I can just hook my hand on here like a bird, like a parakeet, and then very, very minimal movements, very minimal. So that's what I'm up to, and I'll show you one here in a second that I've got done. So the hardest part about this, let me get my other pointer out. The hardest part about overlaying material is the square edge. Okay, he's got it ground off a little bit, chamfered he's a good machinist. Take the burrs off. Always take your burrs off. Anyways, so when you come across, and I've got it tilted at an angle so that I put my first bead here. I don't want it down by the teeth. I want it away from his locking in mechanism, the square, what you call it. So I'll put my first pass here. And then as I go, and this thing heats up, and it is a super heat sink because it's a small piece, that weld will just flow right over the other one, and I'll get a lot more buildup. What happens over time is these corners will erode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over these probably 2 or 3 times with buildup, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to stand them up vertical or on their side or whatever, and then I'm going to overlay the corners, and so that he's got maximum thickness throughout. And it's a little bit weird when they do the you'll have interrupted cuts on the lathe, but it's soft, it's silica bronze. And the other problem with it is it has a lot of silicon in it, and so I'll end up flicking the silicone out, and in between each set of passes I'll be doing like a wire wheel kind of deal. So let's set you up here, and then actually show me working for a change. It's been a long time. Where am I? I'm here in the shop. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to record some. We got to put my ear mufflers in. This little Lincoln is loud. That I know for sure. And just watch me for a while. It's cool. Shop here. It's a good place for all your welding supplies and needs. You're welcome, Chris. Reach down between the legs. done. That's what I mean by the corners curl off. You can see it right there. The corners burn off. So I have to come back later and build that up. Anyways, I'll be back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. It's really nice because it's still 20 degrees outside. And what I can do is I can take one out, take it outside, put it on the concrete and let it cool to the touch. And then what I did is I took it over to the really stiff bristle brush wire wheelie thingy and get every ounce of that silicone off. Looks pretty nice for a white guy, doesn't it? That's what we say in the world. You're alright for a white guy. I'm not racist. I hate everyone equally. Anyways, that's another old saying my buddy used to have. So I'm going to go ahead and put another pass on here, but you get the gist of it. That's what it is. And see how round the corners are? You have to come back. I'm building up. I got one pass on this one. It'll end up machining out maybe a 16th or a little bit more against the parent material. But then each additional pass will give them that much more for later on. If they're using this on chrome or whatever, if they get a chip stuck on there and it's embedded and they wreck a piece of chrome because of it, then they'll just remachine this down the 3 jaws in the chuck. So I'm going to go ahead and put another pass on there, and I'll go all the way through the process and show you what we're at the end, because it's boring and you won't stick around with me just welding, I don't think. Some of you will, but we'll see. All right. So there we are, folks. Children of the Corn. Ooh, that's an old one. We're all done. Look at that beauty. That's 3 passes. I went around the edges to make sure you can see that it's rolled over. I mean, I've got build up there so that when he cuts that, it'll be square. Not square because this is a radius, but you know what I mean. It'll come up with a nice corner for him. And on the bottom, like I was saying, I stayed away from where it engages in the chuck. This is number 2 jaw. I think they got a little warm. I cycled them outside each time. But you can see the pretty colors. Yeehaw! And I was just going to tell you, I used 22 sticks of silica bronze 1/16 rod. So I weighed all my leftovers with a little gram scale, you know, because, not really. And each rod weighs 0.55 ounces. So basically, do the math, 22 rods, there's a 1/4 pound on each one of these of new material for him to throw away and work with. So there's a 1/4 pounder on each one of these from McDonald's. Anyways, and I was just gonna mess around with the old caliper, hey, and see how much that I actually got in the middle. So 0.185, 189. So that means, whoop, I moved it, 190. So that means I got, well, 200. So let's just say round it up to 200 and whatever. Now my mind doesn't want to do math. 3/16, I'm guessing. So 16th with each pass, roughly. So, and that's still gonna not be perfect. It is what it is. But anyways, that's how you do it. That's how you make soft jaws out of regular hard jaws. They're not hardened, they're regular jaws. But it's the easiest, quickest, dirtiest method. Now he's got a fixture, I think he said he puts in there that locks it all in so he can bore this to his specific size. And the idea behind putting enough of it on there for they'll get several cleanups on it. So with this little investment here, hey, he's good to go. All right, that's all I got for today. Thanks for coming along again. We'll see you later.